Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
How you say his name? Noah what? Welcome on in to another episode of The Voice of the Land. I am your host tonight, Always Positive Jay. And with me, as always, now is Ryan Mosser. How's it going, Ryan?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Pretty damn good myself. Peter is our always producer. How you doing, Peter? He has no mic, so he will not be saying how he's doing. We are on the Big Play Network and the Be On Air Network, so thank you to them. And let's get this show started.
Let's do it.
We normally, Kevin's in this seat, but he's out covering those Gardos. And last week I told you I was getting nervous and not like totally nervous. And it was all based on what these two new pitchers are going to do. And they're doing amazing. Like, I did not expect this. I was kind of hoping maybe just okay. And they're doing pretty damn good. I don't know. You said you didn't unfortunately get to watch them, which is
right. Yeah.
A lot of people's problems with this Bally's phenom going on.
Well, I got two babies, so I had.
And you have a couple kids, so whatever. But yeah, they've been playing pretty good.
Yeah.
And if these guys continue on, man, this team the possibilities are endless. Like, every team going in the playoffs seem to have like their own warts and whatnot. And the Guardians' wart was their starting pitching. So if we get these two guys, Boyd and Cobb, and they come in and they're just doing the way they're doing, like, World Series is a possibility. That is a true possibility. You got the best record in the league, and See,
So-
now, I wonder if you do you get into the protocol if you don't have so many concussions? Like if you have so many concussions, is it easier for you to get into protocol when you have like a hit like that or something?
I think it's just you show symptoms. Once if you show any symptoms, you're in the protocol, and once you do the test. I don't know if they do them daily or every other day, but you pass those certain tests, then you get out of the protocol.
Yeah, because I know everyone was looking forward to seeing him matching up against Justin Jefferson this week in practice. That would have been great for him, but hopefully he gets back healthy, and because we're gonna need him, man.
Yeah, Martin Emerson looked really, really good today. I saw some videos
Martin
on him.
Emerson's always looked
He's
really
a
good,
beast,
dude.
man. He's
What a
steal! What, third round? Like just.
I remember we all were
crazy.
like, "Why are we taking a corner right now? We have Greedy Williams."
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that worked out pretty good for us, I'd say.
Yeah.
Right?
No, but Emerson, he's a tank. He likes the ball. He's mean. He's gritty, and I'm happy he's on our team. So
nice. What else we got to talk about with the Browns? Let's think. The offense, everyone keeps talking about it's up and down and this or that. Do you think that's just the defense kind of knowing what you're basically doing, or
that and our defense is just really good. Our defensive line is one of the best in the NFL. Our secondary, I would debate. I'd put them up against anybody. So that a little mix. I'm glad that they're starting to get to practice against another team. I think that's always healthy and nice, unless they get hurt, which is unfortunate. But finally they can put that pent up aggression and competition towards somebody else other than their comrades. So,
any predictions this year? Because this is about the time.
Oh, you're gonna play the prediction game, are you? I got a mic now.
Oh, hello, Peter.
Yeah,
you got a mic?
I got a mic now. Yeah.
Nice.
So this is interesting because Kevin.
I don't hear anything.
I don't have audio,
in my
Peter.
Headphones.
You don't have anything in
No.
headphones. Oh,
I don't either.
That's why it's so hard to hear.
Oh, that's bad. Well, now I have to go fix that. So never mind me having a mic.
Oh, awesome. I get to be the lead chair and nothing like technical difficulties. I feel like, yeah, it's definitely muted. I'm not hearing myself. It's just like, I thought it was in my headphones.
No, yeah.
But it's just muting my hearing. So, yeah, if Noah joined us, we probably won't be able to hear him.
Okay, well,
I'll still hear you.
predictions. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm excited, yet I'm cautious still. I haven't been the biggest Stefanski lover in the past.
Really?
Yeah, I honestly, up until last year, I Kevin says he doesn't like calling for jobs. I don't either, but I thought, he won one offensive coach of the year. One coach of the year. Sorry, he maybe rode that on the back, and then last year as well. He did great. There's no arguing that he did great with the 4 different quarterbacks he started, but now it's time for Watson to start. And we haven't seen Watson. We've seen him a few times here and there. He played great once. We don't know.
Yeah.
I know we extended. Okay. I know we extended Stefanski. But I think a lot still rides on how Watson plays regardless because of the money we paid him. So if Watson doesn't do well, if he's not injured, if he's healthy and doesn't do well, then
I think Stefanski's job's a lot safer than Watson's at this point because all those he had DTR. He used DTR. He beat the Pittsburgh.
Right.
Steelers.
I'm not arguing. He did great
You know what I
last
mean?
year.
And
Ken
then
Carmen says we'll always have the gift or the burden of new information. So yeah, I'm not going to not deny that Stefanski's the head coach. He proved me wrong, completely.
I think one of the issues. Can you guys hear me now?
Yep. You're good.
All right. So I think one of the issues is we do have 4 quarterbacks, and they're all reasonably decent, if not really decent quarterbacks. And I just, how do you avoid the quarterback controversy? Because unless Watson comes out and just absolutely balls,
Right,
it's going to be, why don't we bring in
Jameis
Winston? Because most likely we're going to have Winston's going to be the backup.
I love Winston.
And what are they going to do with the other 2? Maybe the practice squad.
I don't think you'll ever you might hear the controversy with the fans, but I don't think it'll ever be in the locker room. Really.
No, I don't think it would be definitely driven by the fans. I think the organization, isn't going to get into that game. It's definitely going to be driven by the fans, but you know how the fans are here in Cleveland. We're in the middle of the Guardians having the best record in baseball, and the topic on a lot of Twitter and people's minds is going to be the Browns training camp. How are the Browns doing preseason games? And this is a Browns town
for sure.
So,
yeah, they do get loud when they're like, who is it? Did they boo Derek Anderson right off the field when he got hurt? Or no, that was Tim Couch. He got hurt and they cheered him. That's what happened, and he was not happy about that. So yeah, our fans could be pretty brutal. And we're not exactly the Philly fans, but we'll let it be known. I mean, we yell Chubb when we're on offense when we're supposed to be quiet for the team. Like, we could be probably a little annoying at times.
Oh, definitely.
In terms of the quarterback controversy, I mean, if Watson plays well, great. That's what we want. That's what he's paid to do. I have confidence in Winston. Actually, I think that he has been a starter. I mean, he's top 10 in NFL history for most yards in a season. Like, that's crazy. Like he can play. Yeah, he throws a lot of interceptions. I get it. He can be very consistent. He can be very inconsistent. But we have great weapons on our team, and
I'll tell you this much: I wouldn't mind seeing him in that system.
And I hope Watson plays well. I think that one of the two
Witzkoff?
quarterbacks between DTR and Hundley. Hello.
There he is. Well, welcome into our special guest. Noah, do you pronounce it Witzkoff? Weitzkoff. Sorry. I am horrible with English reading. I'm dyslexic and I'm terrible. So you're with the OBR, correct?
Yeah.
So you write for them, if I'm correct. Are you working or interning at News Channel 5? Because I've seen you there.
I've been shadowing. I shadowed John Doss.
Oh, nice.
Shadow.
Anything else that you do right now? Because I know you're kind of you're this up and coming Browns insider, man. And I've loved following you on Twitter. If you want to plug your Twitter handle real quick.
Browns with Noah on both socials.
All right. Well, so what's been the story of training camp today? Anything good going on besides the unfortunate event of Ward going into concussion protocol?
I'll jump into it. I would just answer your question. I'm the sports editor for the Lantern up at Ohio State, the paper up there.
Oh, nice.
So covering football full time for them.
All right. So
for Browns camp, man, I guess the biggest thing that I've seen throughout camp is this defense. Really looks like they've picked up right where they left off, and it honestly looks like they can be even better than they were last year. I mean, I don't know how many times you could say it, but Myles Garrett, man, every year it's kind of like, can he get any better? And you almost see this every single year that he's gotten better. And like just watching him, even though it's 7-on-7 or even though it's 11-on-11s, he's disrupting plays. He's in the backfield in a split second. And even if he's not bringing the quarterback to the ground in a regular game, like it would be a sack. And I mean, he's disrupting plays. Like he is in the backfield every single play. It seems like even I know we've seen it during the regular season, on tosses, right? Like these offenses are running these toss plays and he's there in the backfield on the toss almost intercept it. Like he is that good. And I think we've, really seen that. And these DBs, man, like these corners, Denzel, Emerson, the two of them really believe that they are two of the best, if not the best corners in this league. And, they spent all summer together. This entire offseason, they lived together. They trained together every day. These two guys have gotten really, really close, and they know exactly what they did over the offseason because they did it together. So they've gotten that much closer. And yeah, the bond on that defense is just something that I've never seen before until Jim Schwartz came here. And yeah, they just continue to go and get after it. Offensively, it's hard to.
A lot of people have been saying like the offense has been struggling. I'm like, well, just maybe the defense is really, really good, and they happen to know kind of what's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. The defense is unbelievable. I'd say offensively, inconsistent would be the way I would categorize it without getting too crazy because, again, it's practice, right? It's training
Right.
camp. Haven't seen too much, especially starters. Yeah, I'd say inconsistent. You see some really, really good plays from Deshaun. Then you see some, bad reads and bad decisions. Probably, knock that kind of stuff off as soon as he continues, or as he continues to progress throughout this training camp. Get some reps under his belt when they head out to Seattle.
How does the ball
So
look coming out of his hands? Like, is it zipping now, or does he look like he lost or gained anything?
I wouldn't say anything too noticeable, right? Like, I think that we always talk every offseason, right? Is the zip? Does he have
Sure.
zip? Does he?
Yeah.
It just looks like he's throwing the ball. And like his good throws look very good, right? And his bad throws, you really question the decision making. But I think all that will come, and he's really got the players around him and the guys that he's most comfortable with. And Jameis, he's really close with Jameis. You have a guy like DTR back there as well, and Tyler Huntley's like he's a veteran, like Pro Bowler, right? Like
yep.
he's a guy. They're comfortable with each other, and Deshaun is very comfortable in this offense. So I think continuous reps. He should be able to knock this rust off and continue going at it. I mean, the goal is to get him full go and get him going week one. It shouldn't take, the 4 to 5 weeks for him to knock rust off. They're expecting him to be, their guy starting week one.
Cool.
Like last year's training camp, the guy or when they signed him, I was like, watch out. If he stays healthy, this guy can make an impact, was Maurice Hurst. Instant, everyone loves the guy, the belly rub and all that. Had a good season. This year, my guy when we signed him, I'm like, that's an interesting sign because, again, if he stays healthy, he could be a great addition, is Devin Bush. How has he looked out there? Because I'm not out there, unfortunately. I see you're out there every day, and it's got to be awesome.
He's looked good. I'd say all those linebackers, for the most part, have looked really solid. I think Devin Bush has something to prove, and I think that sort of chip on his shoulder helps a lot. And, not to mention how much it helps to be surrounded by those types of guys in this defense. To be a linebacker and have a defensive line like that, to be a linebacker and have the DBs behind you like that, it helps a ton. And like being in a Jim Schwartz defense, you see these guys who want to sign with Cleveland because of this defensive philosophy, because of the culture they've built, because of the guys and the superpower they have, right? When we talked to Quentin Jefferson, who, had opportunities to sign elsewhere, but, wanted to add more to this defense, this defensive line. And, a big part of that was Jim Schwartz, and they had worked together previously. So, yeah, I think that, Devin Bush and all those other linebackers, I think they've all been flying to the ball, and, they're continuing to work. And again, like I said, like these other guys on this defense make it so much easier for a linebacker, especially that D-line, to be productive.
Now, speaking of like guys who want to sign here and specifically linebackers, JOK got his extension today. How did you see any mood morale or any more swagger with him walking around today in camp or during camp today? Or
I actually wasn't there today.
Oh, okay.
However, this had been in the works for a while.
Right.
It wasn't anything that was, crazy, like unexpected. They had been negotiating for some time now. This was obvious that this was sort of the next domino to fall. This was going to get done. He means so much to this defense, this team. So, yeah, I wouldn't say it was, necessarily a difference because he knew this was coming. This was a long time in the making. So, but definitely, super impressive, everything he's been able to do. And pretty crazy to realize that a bunch of teams passed on him for various reasons, and seeing what the Browns were able to trade up for him, which is not something they normally do, but obviously shows you, how confident Andrew Berry was in a grand slam pick with him. And he's shown it. He's sideline to sideline. You think about those linebackers, you look at Fred Warner and some of those guys, and, JOK flies the exact same way he does. And, it's just continuing to get better and better for him.
Yeah.
It's borderline when you watch him. He knows where a play's going to go before it even starts. He's there so fast. Well, this year's second round pick, unfortunately, got into some trouble over the last couple of days. Were you as shocked as I was to see him actually at practice today at all? Or do you know anything about this situation?
I wouldn't say I was surprised to see him at practice, right? Like he is out of police custody and he is on bond. So, I mean, it's really, he's a member of this team. He's on the roster. He's at practice, right? Like set everything aside. And I mean, his current state, there was nothing stopping him from going to practice and being out there. I know he got banged up here at the end of practice today. But yeah, honestly, wasn't surprised. Pretty much saw that one coming because, he's on this team. He's a member of this roster. So, I mean, you're out there.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, I was shocked, but I don't know how that, like, the protocol is and all that. Just the punishment, I think, if any comes, it'll come when it comes. You know what I'm saying? It'll be
Right. You have to
games
let the legal process play out. And that's the bottom line. I wish I had more of an update for you, but
I mean,
that's
people were shocked that that's actually a misdemeanor, and I was too. I was like, "Oh wow!" And my friend, he looked up the Ohio code and showed how it works, and I was like, "Oh, well, rules are rules, and they are the way they are." And I mean, all you hope for is and we're not trying to make excuses for anyone in their actions, and we don't know exactly what happened. Is that he is young, and he's there. You just hope that you learn from these kind of mistakes and you become a better person from it instead of continuing on making the same mistakes.
Yeah, you're right.
What have you thought about the special teams change, how the kickoffs and stuff? Have you seen them changing their philosophies on how they're doing it from the first preseason game, or do they have like a pretty much a good idea on how they're going to run that?
I feel like a lot of teams around the league have kept that a little bit vanilla, especially in the preseason, and basically just want to see, what it is, right? Like this is everyone's first time experiencing this. So, being able to have the preseason to sort of test it out. I know Bubba's definitely very thrilled that, you have an opportunity to sort of, when it's not all on the line, to sort of test this out, see what works, see what doesn't. But yeah, super interesting new rule. And, I really think that we haven't seen it yet, but I really think that the new rule will alter games. It's much different because, you have those two lines 5 yards apart. Those guys are 5 yards apart. And outside of that, it's your returner. If he breaks through that line, I mean, he's gone, right? Like you have a kicker back there. And I know teams have even looked into having their guy on kickoff as a position.
Kansas City, I think.
Yeah, just having a guy back there that's able to make a tackle one-on-one. The Browns have had to put Dustin through a couple tackling drills because that's what this has come down to, right? Like the Browns are a team that's going to have Dustin back there and if the worst case scenario is a guy is one-on-one with Dustin, you need to have your kickers be able to, make a tackle or at least give your best effort to do so. And obviously Dustin got hurt last year trying to do exactly that. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a difference maker. You get guys back there that have real speed and can really see a hole, and they'll burst through it and then go. And I think that, like I said, this can really alter games, and I think we'll start to see that as the year unfolds.
Who do you think will be the returner for this year? Do you think Nyheim Hines is healthy enough to do it? Any other guys that are in the position of the opportunity for it?
So far, I've seen the most of Pierre Strong back there, along with James Prochet. Those two guys have been sort of the first team reps, gotten all the first team reps on kickoff. I think Nyheim Hines will be that guy once he's healthy, but no timetable really on when he will be back out there. And I don't think there's a guarantee necessarily that he'll be out there week one. So that's something you're just going to have to wait and see with. But yeah, so far, the two guys that have started out there are Pierre Strong and then James Prochet, or those two guys back there. And then, Jamari Thrash has gotten some work back there as well. And I think Deontay Foreman even got a couple reps back there, and Amarian Brown, an undrafted wide receiver has gotten some reps back there too. Yeah.
Well, we're still pretty early into the preseason, but how do you see the Browns season playing out this year?
It's a loaded question. I feel like this division is just, so tough. And I think
it's a gauntlet.
Yeah. Right. And this Hard Knocks thing at the end of the year is going to make it that much more interesting. I think everyone will get to see, sort of that behind the scenes will be really interesting for those last,
it's gonna be fun,
5 or 6 weeks. But the key to this year, I think, even is going to be that last month and a half. The Browns schedule is tough, man. Like those last couple of weeks are against really good teams. So I think that's going to be your, ultimately what it comes down to, right? Like you got to win the big time games come December and come, end of November. So I think it'll come down to that. I imagine, the Browns have a good chance to win this division. They need their offense to be more consistent. They need to be able to get more of a vertical passing game. And stay healthy, of course. But I am a little concerned about the run game, right? Like you don't know when you're going to get Nick back. Got to make sure that offensive line is healthy. And, until Nick is back, you have the same run game as you did last year. And we saw the struggles that they had using the run game last year towards the end of the year without Nick. And, hopefully Nick is back by the bye week. I think would probably be a safe, place to pinpoint. Like I continuously have reported, they don't have a date where Nick will be back by week, say 3 or 4. Like they don't have that. They're really taking this day by day. And I've continuously been told that their hope is that he's back an earlier part of the season. And that's the most pinpointed date that anyone has. They're really taking this day by day and don't want to rush anything with Nick, especially, with an injury like this. He's been through it before. He's an older running back at the position. And obviously their shelf life isn't as much as, it is at other positions.
I just want to see that man retire a Brown. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
When he comes back this year, it's whatever, man. You're Nick Chubb. You're like a god in this town. Let's just be real. Like, we love him so much. Noah, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you. We're just a ball of knowledge when it comes to the Browns right now. I'm going to destroy your plug, so I'm going to let you do all the plugging for yourself. Have at it, my friend.
All right. Well, I'm just on social media. X and Instagram at Browns with Noah are my main platforms. So I do all my work there. And then obviously at the OBR.com, I'll have stories out pretty frequently, especially now as the season ramps up and training camp. So a bunch of content on there from camp so far and much more to come.
What's been your favorite story to break so far?
Oof.
The one where you were like, when you were getting ready to hit send, you're like, oh, man, this is a doozy.
That's a great question. I can't honestly pinpoint one. I think that, each opportunity when it presents itself is awesome. And to be able to have that trust with whoever it might be, I think has been great. And ever since, I started just being able to develop meaningful relationships and, genuine relationships with a lot of different people, I think has just been awesome. But I can't pinpoint one, honestly. I wish I had a story for you. I'll say this real quick. Jordan Schultz, I'll shout him out real quick with Bleacher Report. I'm sure you guys are familiar. He's an awesome friend of mine, and he's been a mentor for me for a long time. And so to hear him talk about his breakthrough when he broke the Gronk retirement news has been awesome. And that's really what started getting his stuff rolling. And to see what he's been able to do has been awesome. And, just again, like I mentioned, an amazing person. Amazing friend. So NFL news, I'll drop him. Make sure you go follow Jordan.
Real quick, the Buckeyes have a big commitment coming up this weekend in David Sanders. Do you have any insights on that? Or do you have any idea? Do you think he's going to go with Tennessee or Ohio State? A lot of Buckeye fans are wondering.
I wish I did. I wish I had something for you.
Yeah.
We'll see, but just I guess a broad overview of Ohio State football, man. They're ready and they're ready to go contend. And
my friend's son is Damarian Witten. I can't wait to watch him.
Okay. Yeah. So man, their roster top to bottom is loaded.
Can be exciting.
Number one class. Those transfer guys that they've been able to pick up. Just gotta get consistent quarterback play. And outside of that, man, Caleb Downs coming in, Quinshon Judkins coming in, all those guys. They're ready and. They're really selfless, all those guys, to see Quinshon come in and know that he's not going to be the only back after what he did at Ole Miss, to see that and the culture they have there. Super excited to see. And, obviously that Oregon game is going to be, one to watch, and I know everyone's looking forward to it.
Well, thank you again, Noah. And anyone watching right now, if you want any of your latest Browns news, this is the guy to follow right here.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for having me.
All right, you have a good night, Noah.
You too. Thank you.
Well, that was a ball of information we got there from our good friend Noah. That was pretty awesome, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. It was really cool.
Yeah, he definitely hit on the one thing I was really hoping for. He would say is that our defense is just balling out right now. And Myles Garrett is going to a new place and a whole new level. And a lot has to do with this defensive line just keeps getting better and better. And they bring in a couple more, like Quentin Jefferson, the defense tackle, like he's going to make a huge impact.
Definitely.
And that depth in that line, and they're just going to disrupt guys left and right. I am so excited for this season.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Here's something we did not get to that I just remembered to talk about. Cy Young.
Cy Young.
Listen here. I know he's a closer, but this man means more to his team than any pitcher in major leagues. We play 8-inning games here in Cleveland. Why? Because we have the best closer in baseball.
Definitely.
And why can I not think of his name right now?
Class.
Clase. Holy moly. I'm like, it's not there.
That's fine. I mean,
Emmanuel Clase is the best pitcher in baseball. This man deserves the Cy Young. I don't even think it's close.
no. I mean, maybe Skeens out of Pittsburgh, but
Well, he
uh,
would win it in the NL.
Yeah.
I think there's two.
Sure, yeah.
Isn't that correct, Peter?
Yeah,
So
but still, yeah. I mean, there hasn't been a closer win one in over 20 years. I mean,
I think Eric
it's due.
Gagne was the last one.
Definitely do. So
But yes, Major League Baseball, please just listen. Give the man what he deserves. He's unhittable. He's the best I've seen since he's doing stuff that's Mariano Rivera.
definitely.
Well, we're going to call it easy. A nice, quick show tonight, I think. Without Kevin, I am on the struggle bus. I ain't going to lie. So, to all our listeners out there, thank you so much for tuning in and follow us on all our platforms. You see us on
Yep.
YouTube. Subscribe. Leave us a comment. I'll return it back to you. It helps a lot.
Yeah, if
A
you go
lot.
on our Twitter or Instagram, you can click the Bitly link and you can find all of our emoticons there, including our latest episode. Just click it and go follow us. We'd really appreciate it. It boosts us a lot. I know we have a lot of great listeners, so we're gonna start booming here, guys. I'm excited to go along this journey with you. So
Well, for Ryan Mosser, for Peter Tellup, thank you so much, Noah, for coming on. I'm not going to try to say your last name because I'm going to totally botch it again. Peter, you want to help me? Wyckoff. Noah Wyckoff. Follow him on Twitter. Great stuff. Thank you so much for listening. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
don't forget to have your pet spayed and neutered.
You're going to change it every time. I'm loving it.
There you go.
Do it. We'll see how long you can go. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in.
Thanks.